Well, hello there, and many of you would know me. I'm Geoff Wohlsen from Dixon Wohlsen Strategies and Club Training Australia. In my last Clubcast back in February, I talked about some essentials in terms of business management and business monitoring, particularly in tough times. Today what I'd like to talk about is focus in on one of those elements, and that was board reporting. I want to talk a little bit more about board reporting, what exactly is best practice in terms of board financial reporting, and what elements would need to be included in your board reports from now on. Just by way of a little bit of background, of course in the midst of the well-documented financial disasters such as ABC Learning and Babcock and Brown here in Australia, and of course Lehman Brothers in the United States and others, the question must be asked, how much did directors actually know and understand of the business before those businesses got into trouble? Well, of course, as directors and of course as general managers and other managers of clubs, you'd know that boards have to deal with reams of information. So it's important that the key information is passed on to boards and available to board members in a concise and digestible form. So within that context today, I want to talk about how boards can better monitor their performance of their club and better fulfil their legal responsibilities as directors. Well, most boards only meet once a month, so it's a real challenge for management and other board members to actually go through and digest the mountainous amount of information that's required to actually govern a very complex business from one month to the next. But most clubs now have finance committees that deal with the detailed financial matters of a club. And so that leaves directors with just the requirement to look at summarised statements, if you like. Of course, some directors may require more detailed information, but providing page after page to every director of detailed financial information is probably not necessary in the current context. A 1 to 2 page summary of all financial information is probably all that's needed. And of course the trend now is to move towards dashboard reporting. Well, dashboard reporting simply takes the key success elements of your business operations and places them on an easy to read chart or an easy to read diagrams. Other key features of good dashboard and board financial reporting are to measure key performance indicators, of course comparison of actual performance with benchmarks, comparison of budgets and actuals so that variances are reported, and most importantly, and I'll talk a little bit more about this, is the need to measure cash flow of your business. Just on the screen now is a great example of a profit and loss reporting under a summarised or dashboard environment. You can see first of all it's only one page, and it tries to summarise, in fact does summarise, what is a fairly detailed business into one table. Let me point out some of the key features to you. Well, as I said, first of all, the table can be contained on only one page. So typically you would have this table attached to a more detailed profit and loss summary if required by the particular directors of your board. Secondly, month and year-to-date performances are shown in the table, and of course they're compared to the budget performances, and variances are recorded as well. The third important element is something that I rarely see in board reporting, and that is to reference each particular line item on the table. You can see on the far left of the table the item references starting from A running right through there on the left-hand side. This makes referencing particular items that may come up for discussion in a board context easier. The fourth element is the colour coding of the table. By colour coding the table and breaking the table up into departmental operations, your directors will be able to see the financial contribution of each and every one of the major operating areas of the business. Fifthly, I'd like to draw your attention to the colour coding of the variances from budget. What we've done there is shown any variances that are detrimental to the business in red, that's obvious, and any performances that are better than the budget we've simply shown in either black, or in your case it might be blue or some other colour that stands out and provides some sort of indication on performance. A key feature of this reporting format is the main commercial trading or licensed trading operations of the business are calculated separately from, for example, the non-commercial trading operations of the business. And I talk in terms of, for example, if you're a bowling club, we always like to see, and directors should like to see, what the commercial trading or the licensed trading operating surplus is compared to, for example, the bowling trading operations. In the case of RSLs and other clubs of that like, the welfare operation should be separated from the licensed club operation so that we can actually see what you're making out of your commercial trading arm. Another key element is the fact that percentages are shown. Directors and indeed management can quickly see the departmental costs as a percentage of the particular department's revenue. Of course, gross profit levels can be easily identified, and they're a key measure for your business. Of course, some directors will want to see more detail, and that can be attached in a detailed profit and loss statement if required. Another feature I haven't shown but should be included is definitions. Some items may require definitions, and this can be included in the report. Definitions of the certain terms, of the various terms that you're using and what calculations you're making. And of course, summary comments on the business performance are also very helpful. Why, for example, poker machine revenue might be up, down, and why expenses might be the levels they are for the particular month and for the year-to-date period. Well, that's the profit and loss statement summarised in a board report, but it doesn't end there. You can see on the screen the next suggestion of a report that I think is vital